Welcome back to the channel. Let me show you 4 exercises to help with your adductor strain or groin strain. See you later. I'd like to talk to you about how to help with your adductor strain or groin strain. So it's something that can be caused by any type of sport activity as well as maybe runners. So the adductor muscles are muscles that attach on the inside part of your thigh. We've got a muscle called the adductor longus, pectineus, gracilis. All those muscles attached inside your thigh there, and they can strain and cause some pain with that. So first thing that you can do, if it's pretty sore, you might want to kind of rest it and put some ice on top of it. You know, maybe icing it for about 15 minutes. You know, once every 2 hours or so, definitely can help out decrease the inflammation on that muscle or the tendon. So you've got the tendons that will attach closer up towards your pelvic area, and those can get inflamed as well. As well as you got to where the tendon attaches to the muscle. We call it a musculotendinous junction, and so that can cause some pain as well. And so let's go over just a few things that you can do to help out with your adductor or groin pain. Okay, the first one that you're going to do is, like I said, you're going to ice, and also you can do is if you can do something called a cross friction massage, kind of the muscle here. Again, those muscles attach all the way up into your pelvic area and kind of where the tendon. So sometimes you kind of have to get a little close there, and you're going to find that muscle, and you'll find that tendon, and if it's tender, it's the area that's probably giving you some issues. And so what you're going to do, you do something called a cross friction massage. You're going to put pressure direction 1 down and relax, down and relax. You can do that for up to 5 minutes or so, or as long as you can tolerate it. The longer you go on this, the better it should feel. And now definitely if it starts to get worse the longer you do it, definitely stop right away, okay? So, but again, the longer you do that, the better that should feel. So basically what you're doing is you got the fibers along your thigh, you're going perpendicular across those fibers. And so what that's going to do, you help out improve blood flow. And then also sometimes whenever you have any type of injury or strain to a tendon, you may have a little bit of scar tissue on that. And scar tissue is built kind of messy looking. It looks like a bird's nest. It's not aligned, so we want to be able to break that tissue loose to help align the tissue there. So again, you can do that about 3 to 5 minutes at a time. You can do longer there, so the longer you do it, the better it should feel, and eventually it'll kind of be numbish, and then you won't, you'll search around for a tender spot and it won't be there. And so again, you can do that a couple times a day or so, 2 or 3 times a day to help with that. Okay, the next one that you're going to do is doing a little bit of isometric exercises. So what you can do is you're going to find, it can be like a ball, like a squishy ball or something like that, or you can find a yoga block, and what you're going to do is do a little bit of squeezing on that. So lay down. You can lay down, or you can even do in a seated position. Laying down is nice just because you're kind of relaxed. And so what you're going to do is you're going to, you can start off a little bit smaller range of motion, so you can bring make the block a little smaller. And so what you're going to do is squeeze nice and gentle, not so much where you're causing pain, but squeeze where you just feel just a little bit of soreness. I think that's okay as long as it's not sharp shooting pain. Hold it for about 10 seconds and then relax. And you do that again, hold that for about 10 seconds, and then relax. And so do that for about 10 times or so. So if that feels okay, and you can maybe go on to the next step, make the a little bit wider there. I don't know if you can see that there. With that, make this block a little wider and then squeeze. Hold that for about 10 seconds and then relax. And do that for about 10 times. You can do that daily, you can do that a couple times a day to help really get that muscle to activate a little bit more. And then once that gets better, so that's kind of isometric, so you can start doing a little bit more active type of exercise, where you're going to do something called adduction, where you cross your leg over, and then what you're going to do, you're going to raise your leg up towards the ceiling. Hold it for about 3 seconds and relax. Come up, hold it. So while holding it is going to help contract the muscle. When you go down, you want to go down nice and slow. You make sure not to go and let your leg flop down. So no flopping. So you come up, slowly come back down. Going down, we call that eccentric motion, where the muscle is lengthening. That's the part that will help strengthen that muscle there. And come back down. So you can do about 15 repetitions a couple times a day with that. So that's one strengthening exercise you can do. Another one that you're going to do here is you can do some resisted training. If you got like a resistant band at home, you can put this around your foot there, see if that fits around my shoe. Come out, and what you're going to do, you're going to come across. So you'd be able to kind of work on balance on one leg while you're working on this leg here. And you come over, same thing like laying down. Hold it for 3 seconds, slowly come back over. Do that for about 15 repetitions. Okay. And so there's a couple things you can do. Those are good strengthening exercises. Then we want to go and stretch that area out. And so what you're going to do is, before you do any exercise, so if you're ready to go back running, you want to make sure you're doing some dynamic stretching. Before running, that kind of warms up the muscle compared to static stretching. Static stretching, what happens is that stretches the muscle a little too much. And so you think about it, if you want those springs to be nice and you think of your muscles as springs, so you want them to not be overstretched. So if you're doing static stretching for long holds, that might overstretch those muscles and tendons. So you want to do more dynamic, where we weren't warming up here. So we've talked about that before and some of my other previous videos. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to do about 20 leg swings going forward and back, and to we call it flexion and extension, back and forth. And again, do about 20 times, do on each leg. And then also you can do more flexion or adduction going in towards your body, and abduction going away from your body, back and forth, doing about 20 repetitions of that. Also, you can do another one is to warm up the adductor muscles, is doing more of a side lunge type of exercise, going back and forth, holding it to about a couple seconds, and then come back over to the other side, doing that for a couple seconds or so. So that's definitely one good way to help out with your warming up your adductor muscles and warming up other muscles too before you run or do any type of activities there. And so then what happens is, after you're doing all of your running or exercises, you can do more of a static stretching. And so one static stretch that you can do is come up here on the mat so everyone can see. And so if you got a cushy mat, you can do that. If not, you can use like a yoga block or something like that. And so what you're going to do, you're going to come out here. So if I'm stretching my right one, come out here, and you can stretch that adductor muscle there. And then you can kind of switch positions here, switching more to a different part of the adductor muscle there. Hold that for about 30 seconds or so, and do that about 3 or 4 times each direction there. And that definitely can help out with your adductor muscles there. So another one you can do, just a nice gentle one, is, and you can bring your legs together. A couple things, I like the yoga block. You can also, if you don't feel like you have enough range of motion, you can always sit down on the yoga block, bring your legs together, your feet together. Same thing, hold that for a nice, good stretch. Should feel like a good stretch right there inside of your thigh there. You can hold it for about 30 seconds or so. Making sure, I don't want you to really try to push down hard, but nice and gentle pressure is okay. And again, it should feel like a good stretch, nothing sharp shooting pain with that. If you do, stop right away. And then if you want to advance that stretch, you can take the yoga block away. And it makes it a little bit harder type of stretch there. Good. So those are a few good exercises, some strengthening exercises, some nice gentle isometric exercises. Again, what isometric exercise means is basically we're pushing up against the force but not moving through the range of motion. And then we're doing some active strengthening type of exercises and doing some active dynamic stretching and some static stretching. So that concludes episode 12, I believe, for common injuries. And if you have any comments below, comment below. And so I hope everyone keeps safe, keep running, and we'll see you next time.